Ever felt the air shift at a 4th of July cookout? Like you're suddenly too much for everyone around you? What if that's your power waking up? What if that's the beast within you, stirring with a fire that Nietzsche knew could burn down every limit? In this video, I'll show you how to go from feeling small to standing tall, turning your pain into a strength that makes critics freeze in the best way possible. Let me take you back to a moment you've probably felt yourself. It's Thanksgiving. In a small town in Ohio, crisp fall leaves crunching underfoot, the smell of pumpkin pie filling the air, and your whole family crammed around the dining table. You've been working on yourself lately. Maybe you've been journaling your thoughts, or you've been diving into Nietzsche, trying to figure out who you really are deep down. You're feeling stronger, braver, like you're finally breaking free. So you share something real. Maybe you say, "I'm done letting people walk all over me." And then it hits. Your uncle gives you that look, the one we all know from awkward family dinners, and mutters, "Who do you think you are?" Your sister laughs it off with, "Oh, you're getting all philosophical now, huh?" The table goes quiet, not with awe, but with that heavy silence of discomfort. That sting of being misunderstood lingers in your chest, a raw ache that fuels a quiet rage. That feeling haunted me, and it did for someone else too. Meet Leela, a 32-year-old nurse from Seattle. She used to be the nice girl at her hospital, always saying yes, always smoothing things over, even when her co-workers dumped extra shifts on her. But one rainy night, after a grueling 12-hour shift, her manager blamed her for a mistake that wasn't hers. She felt that old pull to apologize, to shrink back into the shadows, but something snapped. She took a deep breath, looked him in the eye, and said, "That's not on me." No yelling, no arguing, just a quiet stand. And you know what? His face froze, like he'd seen a ghost. Then he backed off. For the first time, Leela felt a fire ignite inside her, a fire that roared, "I'm here to stay." That's the kind of strength we're chasing here, the kind Nietzsche called the will to power. But let's keep it real. This path isn't all sunshine and apple pie. It's tough. It's lonely at times. But trust me, that's where the magic starts. You might feel like you're walking a tightrope with no net. But here's the secret Nietzsche uncovered. That tightrope is where you find your true self. It's where you unleash the beast within, turning your pain into something unbreakable, your loneliness into a quiet kind of freedom. See, Nietzsche wasn't just some guy with big ideas and a wild beard. He was a rebel who stared into life's messiest corners, pain, chaos, the stuff we avoid, and said, "That's where the good stuff grows." He believed real strength isn't about being the loudest at the barbecue or winning every debate at the office. It's about mastering chaos to unleash a mind that stands tall, even when the world tries to knock you down. I'm talking about a strength that makes your boss hesitate when you don't flinch at his criticism, or makes your buddies shift uncomfortably when you stop pretending everything's okay. It's a strength that changes the energy in a room without a single word. And yeah, it might scare some people, because when you start thinking for yourself, when you ditch the crowd's playbook, you become a mirror. And most folks, they don't like what they see in that reflection. So if you're ready to unleash the beast within and master chaos with Nietzsche's fire mind that doesn't just survive but thrives, stick with me. We're diving into 3 raw truths Nietzsche left for us, and by the end, you'll walk away with tools to become someone the world can't ignore. Let's roll. Imagine you're stuck in the middle of a Texas summer, the kind where the heat feels like it's pressing down on your chest, and everything's gone wrong. Your car broke down, the bills are piling up, and you're a single parent trying to keep it together for your kid. That's chaos, the kind Nietzsche would say is your greatest teacher. He believed real strength doesn't come from the calm days, the easy wins, or the times when life hands you a smooth ride. It's forged in the fire of your messiest moments, the ones that make you want to give up. Take Marcus, a single dad from Austin, who lost his job at a local factory 2 years ago. He was drowning, rent overdue, his daughter's school fees looming, and no one to lean on. Most folks would have crumbled, maybe begged for handouts or drowned in self-pity. But Marcus, he stared that chaos in the face one night with nothing but a beat-up laptop and a dream. He started a small online side hustle selling handmade leather goods, something he'd messed around with as a hobby. It wasn't pretty at first. He burned his fingers, and the first orders were a disaster. But then, a breakthrough flickered. His daughter's smile when he showed her his first leather wallet gave him a surge of pride that kept him going. That pride fueled him, and soon, a flicker of hope broke through. The first $50 order hit his account like a thunderclap. He kept going, turning late nights into a rhythm, letting the stress fuel his focus. And with each late night, Marcus felt a quiet joy creeping in, proof that his chaos was turning into something worth fighting. For that's what Nietzsche meant: chaos isn't your enemy. It's the fire where your strength is shaped, he said. You need chaos in your soul to give birth to a dancing star. And it's not just poetic fluff, it's a gritty truth. Think about your own life. Maybe it was that breakup that left you crying on your couch in Ohio, or the day your boss chewed you out in front of the whole team in LA. Those moments felt like the end, but didn't they push you to dig deeper, to find something inside you didn't know was there? Nietzsche saw suffering as the driving force of existence, not a mistake to escape. He didn't romanticize it, he faced it head on, using it as a tool to build something unbreakable. And that's the lesson here. Stop running from the chaos. Stop waiting for life to get easier. Start asking, how can this mess make me stronger? Because when you do, you're not just surviving, you're transforming. Picture this: your neighbor, the one who always brags about their perfect life, sees you handling a crisis with a calm they can't fathom. They don't get it, and it unnerves them, because your strength exposes their fragility. That's the power Nietzsche's talking about, a mind so forged in chaos that it terrifies by its mere presence. But here's the catch: it takes work. You can't just wait for the storm to pass. You've got to stand firm in the fire. That's why I'm giving you a challenge, a daily chaos challenge. Pick one thing that scares you today. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, or facing a memory you've buried. Sit with it for 5 minutes, feel the discomfort, and ask, what can this teach me? Write it down, then share one insight in the comments. Do this every day for a week, and watch how that tightness in your chest turns into a fire in your gut. Marcus did it with every late night order, every burned finger. And now he's not just a dad, he's a force. That's the shift Nietzsche wants for you, to take the raw, messy stuff of life and turn it into a strength that makes the world take notice. So next time life throws you into the deep end, don't flail, swim. Master the chaos, because that's where the beast within you, the terrifying, unshakable force Nietzsche envisions, starts to roar. You've already started to see how chaos can shape you into something stronger, something unshakable, just like Marcus did with every late night order, turning his struggles into a quiet confidence that made others take notice. But Nietzsche would say that's only half the battle, because there's a bigger force holding you back: the herd. Picture yourself at a frat party in California, maybe during a chaotic Super Bowl weekend, where the crowd's chanting drowns out your own voice, the kind where everyone's got a red cup in hand, the music's too loud, and there's this unspoken pressure to fit in, to laugh at the same jokes, to want the same things, like a corporate job, a picture-perfect Instagram life, or the latest TikTok trend. That's the herd Nietzsche despised, the collective mediocrity that keeps us small, safe, and predictable. He called it the death of God, not because he was talking about religion, but because he saw that we'd lost the courage to create our own meaning. We'd let the herd decide what's true, what's good, what's worth living for. And when you follow the herd, you're not just giving up your power, you're giving up your mind. Let's talk about Zoe, a 21-year-old college student at UCLA who felt that pressure every day. Her friends were all set on finance majors, internships at big banks, and weekends of the same buzz. But Zoe, she had this quiet dream of becoming a documentary filmmaker, telling stories that mattered, like the struggles of immigrant families in her neighborhood. Her friends laughed when she told them she'd be broke. They said, a dreamer with no future. She'd lie awake at night, replaying their laughter, feeling her dreams slip away under the weight of their judgment. One night, the weight crushed her so hard she smashed her pillow in fury, tears streaming as she vowed to prove them wrong. The herd's voice was loud, and for a while, she almost gave in, signing up for econ classes she hated, trying to be someone she wasn't. But one night, at a particularly soul-crushing party, she felt a spark of rage. She wasn't going to be their puppet anymore. She remembered the chaos she'd faced growing up, her family's eviction, the nights she'd gone to bed hungry. That chaos had made her strong, just like we talked about, and she realized she didn't have to let the herd define her worth. Her heart raced with shame, but also a flicker of defiance, unleashing the beast within her, a force that refused to be caged. She made her choice. She dropped the econ classes, enrolled in film school, and started working on her first short documentary. Her friends stopped inviting her out. They didn't get it, and honestly, they were a little scared. Zoe's choice to break free made them question their own paths, and they didn't like that reflection. That's what Nietzsche meant when he said a strong mind terrifies. It doesn't just stand out. It challenges everything the herd holds dear. He believed you've got to take radical responsibility for your life, to create your own values, your own rules, even if it means standing alone. Because the herd will always pull you back. It'll guilt you, shame you, tell you you're selfish or crazy for wanting more. But here's the thing, the herd isn't your safety net, it's your cage. Breaking free isn't just about rejecting what's popular, it's about building a mind that's so fiercely your own that it can't be tamed. Imagine walking into that frat party again, but this time, you're not trying to fit in, you're there on your own terms, with a quiet smirk, knowing your path is yours alone. That's the kind of strength that makes the herd nervous, because it can't control you anymore. So how do you do it? Start by writing what I'm calling a value manifesto. Grab a piece of paper or your phone and write down 3 things you believe in, 3 rules you'll live by, no matter what anyone says. Maybe it's I'll never let fear stop me from creating, like Zoe wrote. Tell stories that matter, no matter the cost. Keep that manifesto close, read it every morning, and let it guide you when the herd's voice gets loud. After a week, reflect on how it's changed you, and share one value in the comments that embodies a strength so fierce it terrifies. I'd love to see your power rise, because when you break free from the herd's chains, you're not just surviving chaos, you're using it to build a mind that others can't help but fear, in the best way possible. That's the next step on this journey, and it's only going to get bolder from here. You've felt the strength that chaos can forge, like Marcus turning late nights into a thriving business. And you've tasted the freedom of breaking the herd's chains, as Zoe did when she chased her filmmaking dream, despite the laughter. Now, Nietzsche takes it further. He wants you to become the Übermensch, a mind that lives beyond the limits the world tries to impose. A beast so powerful it terrifies by its very existence, and Übermensch forged in Nietzsche's fire. Picture a snowy night in New York City, the streets buzzing with holiday lights, and there's Jamie, a 29-year-old artist who'd spent years in a toxic circle of friends, critics, who mocked her abstract paintings, telling her to get a real job like graphic design or marketing. The chaos of her early struggles growing up in a cramped Brooklyn apartment, watching her mom work double shifts had made her strong, just like we explored. Breaking free from those friends, as Zoe did, gave her the space to breathe. But Jamie didn't stop there. One night, she whispered to herself, "I'll paint my own world," and decided to live beyond their limits, locking herself in her studio for weeks. Her heart pounded with fear, then swelled with purpose, as she painted with a fury. Her work wasn't just art, it was a declaration. She'd create her own laws, her own world, and in the quiet, she realized her art was her throne. But as the gallery date neared, doubt crept in. Would anyone see her vision? Or would they just laugh again? For a second, she wondered if her solitude had been a mistake. If she'd built a throne on sand. She held her breath, knowing this was her moment, as she prepared to show her pieces at a local gallery. When the doors opened, the room fell silent. Her old friends were there, their faces a mix of awe and unease, because Jamie's mind had transcended their small-minded rules. That's the Übermensch Nietzsche envisioned, a person who doesn't just survive or defy, but redefines what it means to be human, turning isolation into a throne. He saw the herd's values as a crutch, and the Übermensch as someone who throws it away, crafting a life from their own will, their own vision. Think about your own limits. Maybe it's the voice saying you're too old to start over, or the fear that solitude will break you. Nietzsche says those limits are illusions, and the Übermensch proves it by embracing them. Jamie did it by turning her quiet nights into masterpieces, and you can too. This isn't about being loud or flashy, it's about a strength so deep it radiates, making others shrink back because they can't grasp it. Imagine walking through Times Square, the crowd parting, not because you demand it, but because your presence forged in chaos, freed from the herd, carries a weight they can't ignore. But it takes courage. The Übermensch thrives in solitude, where the herd can't reach, and that's where you'll find your final power. So here's your challenge: a solitude ritual. Set aside 1 hour a week, alone with your thoughts. No phone, no distractions. Begin by sketching one dream, like a new career or passion, or write a letter to your future self. After a month, look back, see how that solitude has sharpened your mind. Share one dream from your ritual in the comments. I want to see the Übermensch rising in you. Because when you live beyond limits, you're not just strong or free, you're a force that terrifies the world into silence. A mind Nietzsche would call complete. This is where your journey peaks, and we're almost there. Stick with me for the final push. We've been on a journey together, one that started with a spark at a 4th of July cookout and turned into an unstoppable fire. You've seen how to unleash the beast within and master chaos with Nietzsche's fire, a blaze that burns through. 3 steps to make the world take notice. Let's step back and see the flames we've built. First, we ignited with chaos, like Marcus in Texas, turning his late nights into a thriving business, a reminder that your hardest moments are the kindling for your power. Then, we blazed through the herd's chains, just like Zoe in California, who ditched the econ classes and chased her filmmaking dream despite the laughter, proving that a mind that creates its own values burns brighter than the crowd. And finally, we soared as the Übermensch, like Jamie in New York, painting her own world in solitude, showing us that living beyond limits turns isolation into a throne. A fire so fierce it silences a room. Each step fueled the next, taking us from surviving to defying, to redefining what it means to be human, just as Nietzsche envisioned. Remember, ignite with chaos, blaze through the herd, soar as the Übermensch. That's your fire. But this isn't just about ideas, it's about you, sitting there, feeling that blaze in your gut, ready to become a force the world can't ignore. I'm not here to lecture you from some high pedestal, I'm right here with you, walking this path, facing my chaos, breaking chains, and pushing my limits. We're in this together, and I've felt every step with you. From the sting of being misunderstood at that Thanksgiving table, to the chill of my solitude ritual last month, sketching a dream of speaking my truth on camera, something I'd feared for years. Now, it's your turn to let this fire roar. You've got the chaos challenge to ignite your strength. Don't shy away from that discomfort. You've got your value manifesto to blaze your own path. Keep it close. Let it guide you. And you've got the solitude ritual to soar beyond limits, sketching a life that's yours alone. Don't let fear hold you back. I want to hear how this journey burns for you, because your story matters to me. So here's what I'm asking. Pick one of these challenges: the chaos challenge, the value manifesto, or the solitude ritual, and start today. Then come back here, drop a comment, and share one value from your manifesto or a dream from your solitude ritual. I'll be reading every single one, because we're building this terrifying strength together. Share by next Sunday, and I'll spotlight my favorite responses in the next video. Let's see your fire shine. And if this fire lit something in you, if that blaze sparked, hit that subscribe button and join me for the next one. We're not done yet. There's more chaos to ignite, more chains to burn, and more limits to soar past. And I want you with me every step of the way. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep growing. Let's keep terrifying the world in the best way possible. You're not just a viewer, you're part of this fire. A beast Nietzsche would be proud of, roaring with unbreakable strength. Let's do this.